12 years old, that was when I had my first big dream. Some friends said I was a little crazy. Others said I just didn't make any sense. My dream was to be on a television game show. But not just any game show, the most successful game show of all time. Aired in over 40 countries, viewed by over 100 million people. Come on down! You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. Now, by show of hands, who here knows of The Price is Right? Now, keep those hands raised if you'll admit you've actually yelled at the television when someone made a silly bit. You're my people. Keep those hands raised just for one moment. Look around. If you see someone with their hand not up, they probably are lying. It's contest master, toastmasters, and all my fellow game show fanatics. What was your dream at 12 years old? More importantly, what's your dream now? The greatest inventions ever started with a dream of possibility. Walt Disney said, it all begins with a dream. Disney's dream involved a mouse. My dream involved a game show. What's most important, it isn't what your dream exactly is. What matters is that you have one. At 12 years old, I watched The Price is Right so much, I had memorized the price of every household product. Even items like Metamucil and prune juice. After school, when all my friends were outside playing basketball, I was inside watching that day's taped episode. Even in college, I never missed an episode of The Price is Right because I arranged my entire class schedule around the show. Late into my senior year, just before graduation, I actually wrote a paper on The Price is Right, and the grade that I received was, see me after class. Professor says, Kevin, A for passion, D for content. You're obsessed with this show, and you need help. Like an annoying alarm clock, Professor, it woke me up. And it gave me what I call a light bulb moment. You know, one of those experiences that we have, that aha experience that compels us to want to take some action. So the action that I took was I skipped that next class and I went and ordered tickets for The Price is Right. May 10th was the only date available that season. And it didn't occur to me, May 10th was also the same date as my college graduation. Thank you. So I had a choice to make. Go to my college graduation, or skip my graduation to come on down and be on The Price is Right. What would you do? Only difficulty in that decision for me was in calling mom and dad to explain why I was not going to college graduation. And somehow I convinced my best friend. We drove 3,000 miles from North Carolina all the way out to California. 3 days later, we pull into The Price is Right studio, and then we see the sign that read, today's show canceled. Seriously? I cried. And then I was escorted off property. Have you ever had a knockdown moment? We've all been knocked down. That's a given. But getting up and moving forward, that's a choice. We can blame circumstances, or we can create new ones. Our struggles in life, they can develop our strength. Those setbacks, they should be viewed as step-ups, when we can learn something from them, and when they test us to see how bad we want it. And along that 3,000-mile ride back home, I had a lot of time to think. And I made a choice that day to not let my dream or my college graduation be in vain. And so when I got home, I gave my mom a great big hug. And then I ordered tickets for The Price is Right 6 months later, and I bought a daggone flight. And when that day finally arrived, I landed in Los Angeles airport. And then I immediately took a taxi to The Price is Right parking lot to make sure it was open. And it was. And then I sat on those cold bleachers, and I waited overnight for 9 hours. And just so you think I'm not as weird anymore, there were people waiting in line in front of me. Only 2. But still. We waited in line as hundreds more followed behind. The next morning, the studio doors opened. They sat us down. Music began to play. And as they introduced the first 4 contestants, I heard, "Kevin Snyder, come on down!" Oh my God! Woo! And as I lived my dream of being on The Price is Right and shaking hands with Bob Barker, I won a diamond bracelet, I won $5,000, and I won a steam vacuum! But Toastmasters, what The Price is Right taught me was that it doesn't matter what your dream is. What matters is that you have one. And since this time, I've been able to live a few other dreams that people said was impossible. I earned a graduate degree. I wrote a book. I've sailed around the world. I've even learned how to cook. So what's your dream? What's your Price is Right?